Good morning, guys. Good morning. We are here a little bit late. I will say almost an hour late to this live stream due to some technical difficulties, guys. Internet was down and other things, but if you are getting this message right now, start popping up into the chat so we can start, with the hour, maybe hour and a half live stream on the med board, guys. So if you have any questions, this is the time where we can answer some of your questions. Okay, point you in the right direction. It's all about making sure that you guys are doing good in your out process, making sure that you guys are taking advantage of your benefits and making sure that everybody's treating you right. Okay, so you will see some things on the screen in a second. So just bear with me. Stay tuned. Don't quit. You'll be fine. We're gonna take care of you. Let's go. Listen to the music. It's nice. There we go. There we go. There we go. I've been looking at a couple things right here on the page. So that's a very good question, man. That's a very good question. The question for you, it's where are you going? You know, based on unemployment, based on state. Which what are we talking about? Can you give me a little bit more example? As I'm looking around, my grandson. So, sorry, that was my grandson over there. So, the one thing I want to bring to you guys is, let me put this right here so you guys can see. Talk about unemployment, okay? So, this is from Career One Stop. One of the things that they tell you. Let me get my music real quick. 1 second. There we go. So one of the things that you need to have in order to claim unemployment, okay, is you gotta have, not everybody can claim unemployment exiting the military. Only people with that you've been out on first you gotta be on active duty, okay. No reserve, no national, none of those things, okay. The only way that will work for the National Guard or for the reserve people is if they get active duty orders for like a year or 6 months, whatever the case may be. Then after that period, they'd be able to receive unemployment, and you got to be separated from the military. Doesn't matter which med board, retirement, whatever, on their honorable conditions. Okay, so on their honorable, general and honorable, those discharges, those chapters, they will still be honored. But other than that, you won't be able to get unemployment. Okay. Now, let's talk about how much it is. Let me tell you, in Arizona, okay, here is a calculator. Oh, damn, I'm trying to find the calculator so you guys can see it. Still trying to find the actual calculator. Well, I cannot find the actual calculator for the unemployment. One second, guys. I cannot find the actual calculator for the for unemployment, but in average, if you leave the military earning $27,000 as a base pay, because that's the only thing that gets counted, okay, you make $270. So 10%. And I know it sucks, but I'm trying to figure it out if there's another calculator that can give me like a better estimate. You know, when people that make more than 27,000 a year base pay. Okay, I think this website will show you a little bit. I said that we this is for the state of California. Okay, I say that we start. What is the start of your claim today? Oh Jesus! Salary each month. Let's say about what $3,500. That's what makes what 67. 1 second. Want to make sure that I don't know if it was 37 what I was making. It was more. So no, 4,600 bucks. 4,600 bucks. So let's say as an E6, E7, you know, you make $4,600 a month. Okay. You calculate this, you know, every month right here. Next step, you get 400. Yeah, it's the same thing, 10%. Yeah, you know, in this case, a little bit less than 10%. Yeah. So yeah, and then in another case, let's say that you're, let me see, they have different ranks right here. Let's say that you made, say you made 4,000 or 4,000 today. Yep. Say you do 3,900. It all depends on your, you know, rank, years on service. Yeah, $450 every week. It's just not bad, you know. Unemployment is not bad, you know. People are afraid to take in, you know, to apply for unemployment, but I mean, this is one of the things that you have to do, you know, to make sure that coin continue going, you know, because you know, people have to pay houses and people have to pay for their expenses, for the cars, bunch of things. But anyway, let me get the music down. Let's see if we can get some people here. So thank you so much for guys for being here today. But I was looking at this war tech slide that, you know, is from the VA. Let me make sure that this is the latest one. Yeah, 2018, perfect. Yeah. So so people, I want you guys to take a look at this right here. What is war tech? Okay. And this is pretty much another one of those tools that we get in order to help us out leaving the military. Okay. So this is called the War Training Advancements course. Okay. And this is just like a way for you guys to help transition from the military to the civilian sector. So what is war tech and how can we take advantage of this? I don't know if my live stream is going good with the latency. You know. But this can be up to a 12-week program. This is like an internship, and then anybody can apply to this. These are VSR positions overviews. The VSR works in the VA Veteran Service, which is good. It can serve as a primary contact for the veterans and his representative concerning VA compensations or pension claims. Specific duties included, but are not limited to the following. You know, this is what the VSR does for you. Okay. Conducts interviews in person by telephone with veterans, refers persons to the federal agencies of state local agencies, informs the veterans of whatever they need to get their process going. So pretty much the VSR is here to help you guys out with your claims, okay? And hopefully you guys can take advantage of that, your BSR, okay? Good. So this is the eligibility for the war tech students, so like you guys, if you're applying for it. So the main thing here is people, you must see your local career skills program CSP officer. That is correct. That is correct. Your CSP officer. They have different names based on the area. Yeah, CSP, VSR, whatever the case. But yeah, that is correct. The good thing about the war tech that I think is that I'm gonna put a link on the description below so you guys can take a look at this. Is that these people will get you trained. They will help you to get the skills that you need, and then will help you to get your employment within 75 days, which is pretty good. The one thing that they always talk about is that you need to have availability to relocate, to go from one state to another. Most people, like in my case, I came to the army from Puerto Rico, and the last thing I wanted the last place I wanted to be was PR, due to the things that I didn't like about it. So what I did was I was like, hey, look into different states on where I wanted to be, where my coin will be worth the most. Because that's when you're a veteran, when you retire, you're gonna have a lot of money coming, into your pocket. More if you start working, and you just don't rely on unemployment and help from the government. If you go work, you're gonna come with a lot of money, and you got to be mindful on where you want to go and what you want to do with your money, what kind of goals you have for the future. Most people that I encounter, they don't have a retirement plan. They don't have a retirement goal, and they don't have they have one or two kids, and then they don't have a vision for the future. And one of the things that you need to understand is that the military, when you're in the military kind of take care of you, and we get in this mindset where, oh, I'll be okay. That is correct, Diesel. G7 or G9. That is correct. So we're under this impression that since the army is taking care of me, it's going to take care of my families, and that is not the case. People in the military, you need to realize that at some point you're going to retire, and you're going to leave the service, and then the VA is going to be the one taking care of you. But and in some way they're your dependents. But when at the end of the day, the responsibility of taking care of their health insurance, their future, holds back on the parent. So if you're the parent in the relationship, it's gonna go back to you. And what I'm trying to show you guys right here is different little things that you guys can look. Like this, let's say. This is a great way to go to a program like this and end up being a G7 or GS7 or GS9, which is pretty good, and I think 1 second. I think the GS7 makes about $4,000. If you're on the high end of the GS7 a year, which is pretty good, and GS9. Let me see if I can show you your GS9 real quick. Get it right here. Boom. So GS7 yearly pay, $36,000 to $47,000. It's not bad, It's just not bad. just not bad. Let's see, a GS9 is from 37 to 4,800. So, it's, like the starting range is better, is good. But then and the different ranges, because they have different steps. Step 1, 2, 3. I think there's steps going to step 10. I'll show you right here. Let me see if you guys can see this. Maybe I went too far. Okay. So a GS9 start with a pay grade of 44,471. That's a step 1. Step 5 is 50,399. Step 9 is $56,327. And how can you be on a different step of the VA system? So you gotta have qualifications. You gotta have some. Something that you bring to the table. More than the minimum requirements for the job that you're applying. That's why I always tell you guys PMP, PMP, Security Plus. And then if you're going in an IT field and you're planning on killing this, if you're gonna be a GS, killing these ratings, you gotta be CISSP. So in the nursing field, you need to be either you're a registered nurse or practitioner nurse. So different things that you gotta have your licenses. You gotta have the chips to bargain when it comes to salary negotiations and things like that. But it's always good knowing that it's always good to know that that you have something that right there good. So what is the pros and cons of contracting? So let me tell you, Diesel, good question. And I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? And then what I'm gonna say to you right now is gonna make no sense, okay? But this is the way it is, okay? So I'm gonna talk to you about contracting, okay? Contracting is good because you make a lot of money. You make more money than probably your GS's counterparts, but there's the stability on employment is not as good as a GS. The GSs have more. How can I say this? They're more stable when it comes to their jobs. As a contractor, you can be laid off or fired at any spot, at any second. But for somebody like me, an IT specialist, with the certifications that I have, I have IAM level 1, 2. I have 8 certifications, from CCNAs to CI, from CASP, Security Plus, CISM. So a person like me will never have hard or too much of a trouble looking for the next job. I can get hired within a week or two, as long as I find the right job for me. If you're not that skilled, and if you're gonna be in a field where they can easily replace you with anybody just with an associate's or bachelor's degree, so it's difficult. And let me point it this way: if I don't go to my job for 2 or 3 days, things are not gonna get done, because I specialize in X, Y, and Z in my job. Okay, but some people, when they don't go to work for a week or two, shit still getting done. So if you are in that position, you may want to rethink about contracting other than being a GS. Now GSs, this is the thing with GSs. And the GS world, there's a lot of envy. Everybody wants to know which step you're in, which level you are, and that can cause some people to have some shoulder rubbing, here and there. That's one. And the second thing is that on the GS world with these people is that if you are a GS and your boss doesn't like you, most likely you will not get fired. Most likely you will get promoted. Yes, most likely you will get promoted just so your boss can send you somewhere else. Most of the GS's positions are managed or supervised by an active duty officer in most cases. Lieutenant colonels, full birds, kind of those lines, and post commander, wing commander, and then if they really don't like you, they pretty much transfer you somewhere else, or they force you to take a promotion so you can go, so you got to go somewhere else. It doesn't have to be from GS 9 to 10, but it could be on GS 8 step 2 to a step 6, and then they tell you, hey, this your GS 9 step 4 doesn't work here, you got to go somewhere else. This is the how you call it, this is the open positions for your rank. So there's some jobs out there that they apply, they are like you're saying, you're having troubles applying for a job that they require DD 214, but I don't have one yet. Okay, what should I do? So most organizations, they need to have on your file your DD 214. Okay, so there's two things that you got to do. Okay, if when you go to the job site, or your job, whatever, if they have a specific, they're gonna have specifics, like USA Jobs. They're gonna have a specific form or thing that you have to select. While you're applying, in the process of you uploading your documents, there's gonna be one for your DD 214. Okay, but you're still in the military, you don't have a DD 214. So what you got to do? You're gonna type a memorandum, and you say, this is such and such, memorandum for record, just a letterhead, office letterhead. And then you're going to put in this memorandum, I am in the process of processing. This is my retirement day. I don't have a DD 214 yet, whatever. And then you go and type the memorandum, you sign it, and then you upload that memorandum, and you submit that memorandum for that job on the spot of the DD 214. Okay, so when the person who is reviewing your case is going to see, oh, he doesn't have a DD 214 yet, but he has a memorandum saying why he doesn't have it yet, and he's going to look at it, boom, he's going to say, oh, he's in the process. He's going to get, in most cases, you will get a letter or an email or something saying, hey, this is when you're going to get your orders. If you got your orders, put the on the spot for DD 214. Put the memorandum and put the orders and highlight it in yellow or something. Trust me, it works. On most jobs, if it's not like a government, that is good, But I don't know if the statement of service will give you more information than the orders. Let me take a quick look real quick. I have this one right here. Yeah, it will show your entry day. It's gonna show some of your information, but it's not gonna be enough for you to if that's what you mean to put it in place of the DD 214. I cannot answer that question. I will always submit a memorandum with the DD 214. Always, never know. The memorandums. So I have today from social media on my Instagram right here. I'm gonna try to see if I can. I cannot put the names. I was gonna put the names on it, but I mean, people, he didn't give me any. Where am I? Where am I? Music, audio. I'm looking for my music. My music sucks right now. My music really, really sucks. There we go. Music is there. Good. So I received a message on Facebook a couple of days ago, and Jesus Christ, I guess on the weirdest shit ever on messages. Okay, let me get with you guys in a second. So I have a message right here from one of the subscribers on Facebook that I'm sorry on YouTube, and he's saying it took me I was talking about the med board on this video, and then in addition to that, I was telling the viewers, hey, you need to be looking for these specific things when you go to the med board, and he wrote back to me. It says it took me over 3 years. I'm sorry, it took me over 1 year and 3 different PAs to get my MRI. Came back with 4 herniated discs, pinched spinal cord T7 through T8, 3 dissected disc, arthritis, and normal nodes. Well, I don't know what that is. All in the thoracic spine, thoracic spine. My PA is taking his time with everything. I went off post, and the doctor say, how the hell you're in the military? I can get epidural February the 4th, 2020. Do you think this is med board situation? Okay. So let's talk about this epidural, this injection that everybody seems to get on the military, okay? Because I got 4 of them, all right? Epidural. I think that's the same thing they give women in labor, to hold their situation. And I got to tell you guys, it really, really sucks. Epidurals sucks. So I do not recommend anybody. I do not recommend anybody to take an epidural shot on the back for herniated disc and go back and continue working with the physical demands of the military. Because let me tell you what the epidural is going to do to you. Okay. So that drug is, and this is, I'm not a doctor, okay? Don't take my shit as a medical professional. I'm not. I'm just giving you based out of my own experience and what I feel, what I went through. So you take that shot today, okay? You go there, you go to the doctor telling them, I got pain on my back, my back hurts, my back is this, my back is that. I'm having trouble running, standing, so in my case, I was having trouble sleeping, I have to sleep with like a little hump on the back. Like a little pillow, whatever, so I can arc my back when I was sleeping. That was the way I was receiving release from my body. So guess what happened, guys? Guess what happened? The doctor gave me a shot on a Monday. Then that shit hurt. I'm telling you, that shit hurt. That he went all the way in. I felt that shit on my stomach. No jokes. It's very painful. So by the following week, I have no freaking pain. Zero pain. Zero. Guys, zero pain. Okay? But I'm one of those guys that when I used to go to the gym, I always kept my notes, this gym notebook. This day I did so many of back, so many crunch, so many abs, so many this, so many that, Then I kept on going. Then I went back to the gym like the week after. Start with I was afraid, hurting my back again. So start with, lesser weights. And I was like, man, this is nothing, And then within a week, I was over what I was doing within a week. That will be the third week after the shot. I was doing way over what I was doing before. And then I'm asking myself, how in the heck that shit is working? I really thought that the steroids that they were giving me were like steroids like to build muscle and to make you strong. But the actual steroids that they give you, they are to just block the pain and give you some kind of endurance. So 4 or 5 months, I was good. And then I would say month 6.5, I thinking that I'm in the best shape of my life. And one of the things that happened, hey, thanks Lisa for that. one of the things that happened was that my body started going in the opposite direction. My back started getting weaker, my legs start getting weaker, my arms start getting, everything, and then the pain started to come back. And I'm like, maybe I overdid it today. And then another week came by, and another week got by, and guess what happened, guys? So this happened, guys. By month number 8, I was in the same position that I was before I took the shot. And month 9 came back, and 10, and I just keep getting worse, worse, and worse. And we gotta think, guys. We gotta remember that in the military we create this tolerance. Okay, we create this tolerance to the pain, and that's where we screw up, guys. If you're injured, you're injured. There's no going back from that. There's no surgery out there, made for somebody who can tell me I was 100% back to right now. You were not 100% back. You might think you're 100% back, but you're probably a 90% back. And then if you are the rare case where you are 100% back to the where you were, then God bless you. Okay. So in my case, guys, I was in a situation where I was so troubled, because in my mind I'm like, I'm fixed. They give me that shot. It worked for so long, that becomes the norm for you. And now, as I continue going back to the gym and I keep annotating, what was good with my body, what wasn't that good with my body, the way that I used to work out, the way that I used to do X, Y, and Z, and then the numbers keep going down. I remember before my first shot, I used to go to the gym. I used to bench press 10 to 12 reps, easy, with my chest, with 245 plates inside, plus a 25 plate. That was nothing. But that was as high as I wanted to go, so I never went more than that. I can definitely tell you, yes, I probably can go higher than that, but I never did. So I kept my records. I kept checking. I kept doing this. I kept doing that. And guess what? When I was going back to the second time after I got my shot, I was doing like 145 and 110, 145 and 15. So, because I was hurt. I was injured. So when it comes to these things, guys, you need to take care of yourself. I will say to you guys, after you finish the military, there's nobody rushing you to go get back in shape. Maybe your wife or your husband, get back in shape 100%. Yeah. But I will say this to you guys, be mindful with your bodies, be mindful with the path that you choose, be mindful about how you're going to take care of yourself, be mindful about, what you put in your mouth, because diet is a big part of your life. Drugs and alcohol, cigarettes, all this shit, just think about the decisions that you make. I go to this bar next to me, post 119. No, sorry, post 109, and I see they have a bar there, pretty nice, and I see a bunch of veterans. I went there, I think Thursday, and I saw a bunch of veterans just sitting down, smoking and drinking, and I'm like, damn, And then they look older than me, but when I talk to them, they were like, yeah, they're your same age, and I'm like, damn, my man, what happened? So be mindful about, you got to take care of your body, man. Take care of your body, take care of what you're doing, but in addition, take care of what you put into your body. So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. Okay, let me take this out of here real quick. Let me bring the briefing real quick, guys. Okay, where's my downloads? There we go. You're here. Bada bing, bada boom. No. Check this out. I'm gonna talk to you about something right here, guys. Okay. Okay. So last week we oh wow, one second. We got a question right here. How important is to work out after the military? Man, it's very is diesel is very very important to stay in shape, man. Because one of the things that we don't care when we're in the military is cholesterol, your thyroid, your diabetes, things like that. And I got to tell you, man, I really got to tell you that it's just it's insane, man. It's insane how people get in bad shape, by just not working out or not running or walking. You don't have to do your 3 miles every day, but I'm telling you, get your Apple Watch, get your Samsung whatever, get your whatever Fitbit, and start tracking your steps, because the way that the military keeps you active, even if you're the guy that doesn't do PT, even if you're the guy that just go out for a walk, which is still a great workout, the your health is gonna go down. As soon as you stop getting those fitness aspects of your life, your life is gonna go down. So you gotta stay on your A game. I say if you have a dog, well, your pets. If you got kids, go outside, play with your kids. Don't stay at the house. If you're in that case, in addition, let me talk to those guys who are fighting with things like PTSD, anxiety, depression. Don't stay at home. Most days you're gonna feel like shit. Most days you're gonna feel that there's nothing good in your way. Don't stay home. Open the windows on your house. Clean your house. Do your bed. Take a shower. Put whatever, and go out and walk. Yeah, for real. Like, go out and walk. Don't pass out. By doing something crazy, but at least do something that will help you out. Physically, it's gonna keep your blood flowing and moving. I was just looking at a show last night. They were talking about the oldest person in the world, who happens to be right now 107 years old, and the guy. Big question was that to always smile. Oh, how you do it to keep it always smiling, And I'm like, smiling, But then throughout the whole show, they're showing what the guy is doing. So the guy keeps, that he goes in another house a bunch of times. He got like chicken and stuff. So he go feed the chicken, and it's like a little farm that he got, and he got like vegetables, So he's spending a good part of his life doing other things. So we might not have chickens, but we might not have a garden to take care. But we got kids, or one of the other things I want to tell you guys is you can go to the VA. You can go to the VA to the VA hospital and volunteer 1 or 2 days. Okay, and what's going to happen is you can volunteer as many as you want. And most of the times they pretty much they got these positions where you take care of people from the ER into getting an X-ray, and from the X-rays getting back to the ER, or from one floor to another, or they need to go take sometimes you have to take one of those patients and take them outside so they can breathe air and just clear their mind for a second. So they have a bunch of positions for you to volunteer that are very rewarding, man. Because the other day I went to the ER and this guy was I have to get me an X-ray. And then I was like, okay, I go get an X-ray. Doctor like say, no, you got to get transfer over there. It's a policy. You cannot walk over there. And I'm like, okay. So she said, put this gun, over you. It's like a little funny as hell. And this dude came back to the room. Sorry. And he took me to getting my X-rays. And then it was like a 2-minute walk. We talked so much. that I felt that I kind of connected with that guy. He was helping me out getting there, but at the same time, I help him out with other things that we talk about it. And then being nice to the individual. Thank you so much, X, Y, and Z. It was nice. Okay, guys. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is unit commanders' actions for med board. We were talking about last week. One of the questions was asked: can the commander stop you from getting a med board or anything like that? And then this is the only thing that the commander does. Okay, he needs to type a memorandum, and on the memorandum he got to say the description of the soldiers, current duty position, uniform hours of work, etc. He's going to say, oh, this is Sergeant First Class Reese. He works from 10 to 11, and this is what he does. This is the special limitations that we have. He cannot do this, he cannot do that, X, Y, and Z, and then the ability to adequately perform duties of primary MOS. So he's right here is where your commander is going to say, since he got injured, he got back, he's not been doing his job to the utmost of the whatever, because of X, Y, and Z. He cannot concentrate, he cannot do this, he cannot follow instructions, he cannot stand up information. And then the commander, he needs to discuss current duty assignments, anticipated future assignments, branch age, and career specialties. This is where the commanders be like, yeah, we know you cannot, do your job right here in your unit, which by the way sucks. But we like you to go to Korea for a year. So you can have fun in Korea and go to the field 4 times in that year because, it's a year. And lieutenants and commanders need to get their RCOM and the MSMs, So you got to go to the field 4 times. And by the way, we need to you need to clean your weapon every week, even if you don't shoot it, because the supply NCO has to get their award, and then and you're gonna do 4 PT tests in the year. Why? Because the first sergeant needs to get his award. You got to do it. Yeah. And then if you're an NCO, I know you got an NCO year already, and you're not due for another year. But guess what? We got to do it quarterly, And by the way, we're going to do it 6 times, 7 times. And you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? Oh, by the way, Korea is the best assignment ever, people go to Korea and they love it, they enjoy it. But then there's a bunch of units that do a lot of stupid, dumb fuck stuff over there because they don't have nothing else to do, man. Nothing else to do. Korea should be an assignment where you go there and then, this is what I think, where you go there and the whole year you are an ambassador of the United States Army, should be an assignment where you go to the field once. Should be an assignment where you just do an APFT once. Should be an assignment where you don't even get an NCOER because that would be not ready time in service, or not ready time because of the assignment, or everybody should be getting something similar, because in 1 year there's not enough time between you and process until you start out processing for the command and your supervisor to really get to know you, So it's one of those things. So that's sort of the things that happen, So anyway, I got sidetracked. So the commander completed 2173, and he ensures that you make all your appointments. So anyway, guys, we are about to 50 some minutes to being on the stream. We talk about a little things. Sorry to you guys for being late. I will try to make sure that these problems don't happen next time that we have the live stream next Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning. So any other questions that we haven't answered yet, or any questions you guys might have? I want to say thank you to Diesel the Train, man. You've been helping a lot in this live streams, and every time that we go live, we definitely have to do something. We need to collab to a point where we get both faces on here on these streams. If you haven't done it yet, guys, go to Diesel's the Train Facebook page, and please check out his videos. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there. And give some props to the guy. He does a lot for you guys and the ones that are watching this. I don't know if you guys realize, but there's not many people doing videos of individuals that go into the med board, and the only reason why we're doing these videos is because we care about you. We care what you go through, But in order for us to help you out, you need to come to these videos and you need to ask questions on the live streams, because this is the only place where we can answer a question directly. When I make videos, in my own time, and when Diesel make videos in his own time, we can only address the questions that we have in our minds. We cannot answer specifics. This here is where we are able to answer specific questions to specific individuals. Okay. Yeah, that's it, guys. I think we're doing great. Even though if we cannot help you guys, immediately, because some people just don't know about it. We can do the best that we can. So Diesel asks, should you apply for the VA home loan while still in? Yes. So let me tell you something. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. Yes, you should get a VA loan while you're still in. Okay? Yes, just do it. But you got to keep a couple things, and you got to make sure that you apply and you close before you get out. Okay? That way you can use your income to as a factor for the loan. Okay? But you got to keep a couple things in your mind. The first thing you got to keep in your mind is, will you have a job that will give you the enough funds to pay for the mortgage? And or two, will you be able to get because some people just go to school, and then will you be able to get enough money between your VA, disability, your retirement, if you get your retirement, and your compensation from going to school, your BAs that they give you through bulk rehab of their GI Bill? Will you be able to do that? So I will always say yes if you can answer your questions and say yes. If you don't have one of those three things on hand right now, you should just wait. You should try to go, like in my case, when I came to Arizona, my son was already living in Arizona. And what I did is I stayed in his house, and then what I did, we pay, we give him some money for some for minor things in the house. We didn't pay the mortgage, but we weren't living for free neither. Which is something that I think that if you find yourself in that position, do it. If you got the chance, do it. But it won't help everybody. If you know that you're gonna get all those things squared away, yes, go ahead, get your house, man. Get your house, start living it. I will say, make sure that you have enough funds to pay for the house for 6 months, just in case. And then sometimes you got to take a risk. Sometimes you got to go take a risk and say, hey, I'm taking this risk, and hopefully everything goes well. But at the same time, you got to have something to back up you taking that risk. And then don't be mindful with your money. Keep telling that to people, and the first thing that they do is they get out of the military, and then they still have 2 car notes, 2 car payments, and then go out and they buy another car, and then this and that. Don't follow me. OHA, or are you talking about HOA for the houses? I am HOA, man. Oh shit, yeah. HOA. So I've been. This is another thing that I talk to people about. I think I talked to you about HOA as well, D. So thank you. That's a good question, man. When individuals buy homes, okay. Most of you guys are going to go to one of those build house that is in a neighborhood, cuddle sack, something nice. And then you're gonna pay $250,000, for your house, and then you're gonna pay your house. But when you're signing the contract, they tell you, hey, there's an HOA on the house, on the neighborhood, and the neighborhood HOA is $25 a month. So the first thing you gotta ask yourself is, what is an HOA? An HOA is just it's a community service. It's just that, a community service. And in some cases, they do, with the money that you give them, they take responsibility to help within the neighborhood, to improve the quality of the neighborhood. So What happened with the HOA is like you go to a house, like in my case, you go to my house, start living here, and then you want to get done a shed on the back. If you want to get a shed on the back, you need to apply to the HOA, to the board of the HOA, and the board will determine if you can put a shed in your house. Do you want to put in your house? You got to apply to the HOA. Do you want to paint your house? You got to ask your the HOA. So it's good in the point where all the homes will maintain their current value, but it's bad in the point where you cannot do nothing in your house outside of your house unless you apply to the HOA. I will always recommend people, if you're buying a house, like I'm looking for another home, buy yourself a home without an HOA, because it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. HOA just screw too much. And then in my case, we're paying, I count in this neighborhood, we pay over $10,000. I'm sorry. It was over $7,000 a month between all of us, 25 here, 25 there, you know what I mean? And I'm asking the HOA, when I emailed them, they denied me my shed. I asked them, guys, where do you spend all the money that we give you guys? And they're, oh yeah, salaries to the people that works there, okay? And they maintain 2 basketball courts that were built by the builder. The builder build those parks. They just maintain it. So, and then I went to see those parks. So those parks are not painted, the floors. They have new nets on the basketball hoops, but that was it. And I'm like, you telling me that we're giving you this money, and the only thing that you do in this neighborhood is to buy nets for a basketball court? God damn it, Yeah, I would recommend anybody to, if you're gonna purchase a home, to be mindful, buy that. There's a couple things that I want in a house that I don't have yet, and it's the view and space. So I have the space right now, but I don't have the view. And then I was content with that for about a couple of days, a couple of months. But now, man, I wish I have a view, And I still kind of have a good view towards the back of the house, but I want to have like the grandioso view, I want a grandioso view, and that's what I'm leaning to, I want to have a view of a house with a real view, where I can look from one side and see the north, and then look to the side and there's the east side, it's about location. So people, when you're buying homes, be mindful, think about the house you're gonna buy, think about where you want it, take your time, don't just see 3 houses and then put an offer, because every house that you see, every house is going to be beautiful. Every house is going to be like, yeah, I want this house. Yeah, I want this house. Nope. Take your time, And if you have to fire your realtor, fire it, Fire them. That's it. Take it. It means you're going to pay for it. And one of the things I'm going to tell you, talk to people before you finance your house, okay? Because there's a lot of programs out there. Like in the state of Arizona, in the city of Tucson, they're giving the city of Tucson has a program where they give you $25,000 in a check to put towards the down payment of your house. Okay, that will help you with the the insurance of the home. That will help you with the down payment. But the thing is that if you want to get this $25,000, you have to finance the house with these lenders, okay? And the interest rate that these lenders will give you is gonna be 5 or 6%. Doesn't matter if Navy Federal will give you 3%. You have to go with these lenders. So when I do the calculations, I will be paying $24,000, in interest rate just for the first 5 years. Oh, by the way, when you look in the contract, they tell you you cannot refinance your home within the first 5 years. So pretty much they're giving you the money, but you're paying it back. So you pretty much leave a house for 5 years and you didn't apply nothing into the principal because everything went to interest rate. Everything goes to the bank. And then at the 5th year mark, you refinance your house, which You just lose 5 years. So you gotta be very mindful about those programs out there. Okay, do your calculations, think through things, and be mindful. How important it is to have friends, especially talking about those with PTSD, like going to bingo. Yeah, man, this is very good, man. Um, the it's very important, like in my case, man, I go to bingo every Thursday, at the BFW. Um, it's good, man. It's good to have somebody that you can talk to. Um, it's good that you have somebody that you can that you can dump all your load from. That sounds stupid. Sorry. But you know what I'm talking about. You just want to have somebody where you can talk to and then just kind of relate to in more than just work. Like in the military, when you're in the military, you relate to a lot of people because you guys do the same shit every day. You guys have the same commander, the same first sergeant, the same supervisors. You guys do the same shit on their missions. Everybody does PD at the same time. Everybody, So people wants to make you believe and feel like that's like a family, but in reality, no. Is how you call it? Is the when you repeat is the repetition, and then you do kind of care for some of those individuals, but in reality, you got to find yourself some real friends, real people that will stay there with you through to the real, to real life events, because I mean, when you start getting out of the military, the first thing they check you as a douchebag. Oh, he's getting a med board. He must be a douchebag. He must be trying to get a 100%. That's the first thing people tell you. That's the way that people seems to deal with shit. Which is very sad. In the civilian sector, when you your neighbors, make sure that when you move, you're not that neighbor that just move to the house and stay in the house and don't meet the neighbors for another year. No, go outside every afternoon, walk your dogs, walk with your kids around your neighborhood in circles. That's a technique, by the way. That's a technique. And then by doing that in circles, people's rings, cameras are gonna go off, and they're gonna go see you. What this person is doing circles in the neighborhood, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, So they're gonna come out. Hey, they're gonna say, hey, because people nosy, people nosy, and they say, hey, how are you? I'm such and such. I live in that house over there. We just move. Start communicating with people, because you never know. I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet. That's when you meet. You got to know your neighbors. In the other case, I live like 2 minutes from my BFW, and they do a bingo every Thursday. So me and my wife, we just go to bingo every Thursday, and then we talk to people over there that are veterans like us, or Army families like us, or Air Force or Marines, and it's been very nice, It's been very nice. This week I went to they have a bar over there. I went Thursday, no, I went Friday, and I went Saturday. Just to relax, relax, have a drink, say hi, look around, see what's going on with people, and people approach you like, say, hey, who you are, who are you? And you're like, hey, this is such and such, man. I just moved here, and apply for this. Those kind of things. Like in every occasion, in every situation, every place, there's gonna be some haters. You're never gonna miss, having those haters. But trying to make the best of what you got. After the military, truly. And at work, when you go to work, try to have some good relationships. At work, if you're a contractor or a GS, trying to make some good friends. Trying to invite them to your house or invite them to have a drink or something. Do the best you can, man. Do the best you can. Everybody. So let me show you real quick. So this is what I'm telling you guys. This is what the heck happened here? BFW. BFW is nice, man. I like it. So this is the BFW, guys. This is Come on. It's pretty much the American Legion. Okay. Um, the BFW is like an organization, okay, non-profit organization, and they do pride themselves in helping veterans. The message right here, that the VFW that I go 109 here in Tucson, Arizona. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in the Great Wars. So it's a great organization. I mean, and they have a bunch of different things that you can relate to. They have a little chain of command with post officers. Okay, they do a bunch of events, as you guys can see right here. This is a calendar for the 109, the 109 American Legion. Okay, they do breakfast and lunches. They help veterans, taking care of each other, and there's a place where you go. You guys can see here Thursday tacos. Hey, JTV, what kind of questions do you have, brother? This is I mean, they have bingo every Thursdays. They have lingo. It's Saturdays from 3 to 5. I mean, they have so many things out here, man. I mean, it's a great organization. I love it. I'm gonna leave this on the homepage, and they do have this plane display over there, like for no joke, man. They have a real plane over there just in display. So while we wait for Jay to come up and ask some questions, let's see what else we can talk about today. By the way, welcome to the chat, man. This is how you doing today, man. I see you doing your part, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. It's always good to see somebody, that take care of veterans, I had to study today, man. I have two classes. So how does the process actually begin? Is it can be different in every location, okay? After the map is put in, okay? So Jay, as I talk, you can just keep on writing here, okay? So what's going on? I got a question here. 1 second, guys. Hello. Oh, 1 second, brother. Let's go out of here. 1 second. You guys are right here. Bluetooth. Where is my Rodecaster Pro? Right here. I got it. 1 second. One second. Are you there? Hey, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you pretty good right now.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Like I said, welcome to the chat, guys. Our main focus is to help veterans, transition, and of course to give information to individuals that are retiring or looking to transition in the coming months or years. So the question I have is, when should we start preparing to give us the most amount of time to make everything smooth if I do decide to get out the military? Like what kind of months, years?
So Diesel is let me tell you, man, this is actually what you're talking about right now. Actually, applies to what Jay is saying, asking as well right here. He's asking how does the process actually begin, and then I really believe that the whole process will begin by telling the soldier and or airman or whatever giving them time to prepare for the med board. Um, I can tell you right now 3 months. I can tell you 6 months, but I mean everything depends on the individual. Everything depends on where the individual is in his life currently, because some people join the military right out of high school, and they don't know nothing about the civilian sector, then you put them in the military. You put these guys on the military for 4 years, 5 years, they get hurt, whatever the case may be. They go lose a leg or something, God's sake, and then we're telling these individuals, so we're gonna separate you from the military. So I would say to me, really, to be honest with you, I would say a minimum of 6 months. Every individual should have a minimum of 6 months where they don't do nothing with the military, zero, and they just focus themselves on getting maybe a certification, or maybe finishing school, or maybe doing X, Y, and Z, because it's just that difficult, man. It's just that difficult to get individuals prepared for the civilian sector, man. It's very difficult, very difficult. So, Jay, to answer Jay's question, how does the process actually begin after the med board is put in process? So everything starts with the soldier. Everything starts with the soldier. It depends on the soldier, willingness to get the med board process moving forward, that the med board process starts. Because after your doctors put your med board, your PA, after the PA put your med board in place, you need to still make sure that the second physician signs on your actual med board papers. So that's where everything actually begins. Once it's in papers, you can go on AKO, check your medical readiness, and then you will see that your medical profile is put in place, and they have one signature or two signatures. Once you have two signatures, your commander receive a notification from the med board process or the PEBLO.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
If I'm currently, gotten the numbers and everything else back from the VA, but I'm still suffering from, like, my ailments are getting worse, and I'm still seeking care, do I then have to go back to the VA once I get out to continue filing for that to see if the numbers get boosted up?
Oh yeah, that you got to get with your VSO.
Yes, sir.
So they can assume, but you cannot start your how can I say, you cannot start your second claim, all right, until you start receiving money from the VA. So you cannot just leave the military, sign out today, and then go and apply for more benefits tomorrow, because tomorrow you still covered from the military. So you're gonna have to wait until you receive your first payment from the VA, so you can apply for more benefits. The same thing applies for the CRSC, the combat related special compensation. That you gotta wait until you got your actual payment from the compensation from the VA for you to start doing those kind of paperwork. And let me tell you something. When it comes to we have to do a video. Matter of fact, next week let's talk about the CRSC and the process, because there's a lot of people not getting the CRSC approved because they just don't know how to submit the paperwork, or when they go to submit the paperwork, they submit just some dumb, bad paperwork. They don't know how to submit it. So I'm gonna bring some examples, so we can actually go to the forms, and then we can just help people with the CRSC. And the good thing about here, man, is that I'm not doing this for profit. I'm not getting. I think last month I made $13 on this fucking channel. We're doing this because we really care about. I'm serious. I got $6,000 in equipment right here, and I get paid $13. Last month. Will you be? So what I'm saying is we're doing this because we care about the military. And then if somebody out there is watching this video and they don't agree with what we have to say, don't just go home. Don't just turn off the video, dislike the video. Let us know why you don't like, and then dislike the video. And then, and we try. Because I try to do what's best for soldiers. What about you, Diesel?
Yeah, I'm definitely, because true story. I was medboarding didn't know anything. I have a family, I have children, a lot of them, and I was reaching out to YouTube, believe it or not, because no one else would give me the answers, because it's like the med board process is like a urban legend. Everybody knows about it, but no one knows like where it started from and how to get what you deserve. So of course I reached out to YouTube, see what I saw. I saw a couple of guys, they were really tight. They were like, all right, I can't tell you everything, but they were just talking about their experiences. Once again, when I tuned on to this video, I talked to Ricky. It was all right. Well, he wasn't talking from an army perspective, like trying to keep you in. He was talking like, look, these are what you need. These are the necessities. These are the must things you need to knock out in order to be successful out in the populace. And his videos were like, I watched them for about a year. I want to say a year before I started to MedBoard, and took notes down. And I didn't believe him initially, everything he said, because I don't know this guy. So I went and then I vetted him. I asked questions. Oh, what's the C? See, the MedBoard people, they don't talk about the CRSC. No one tells you that. So there's money out there that they don't tell you about, because sometimes they're hating. Sometimes they assume, oh, well, you've been in the military this long, you should know. And a lot of things you just don't know because it's not public knowledge. So of course Ricky has been giving jewels, and these, I mean, if he was to charge all the advice that he would give, he would probably be making way more than $13 a video, or that one video.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped my family, it helped myself, just to get into the mind state that, even the mind state, because people will sit here and they'll be like, yeah, I'm getting out the military, but then they'll still do military stuff where it's like they're doing CQ, they're going above and beyond, volunteering, trying to get an award. And then they get too caught up in still doing Army things that their life gets put on the back burner, like we've done for years. And now tomorrow we're out the military and you're like, oh crap, I didn't get this certification that I needed before. Now I got to pay for it out of pocket. Or now I got to tap into my GI Bill or my post 9/11 bill just to pay for something, but I could have got it in the military for free. So, going to the Syracuse University, what's it called?
Excelsior College.
Going to those things. Hold on. After you get rid of it, another issue, there's the code energy. Oh yeah, you read that one. Hold on. I'll take care of it. Yeah. So these things are key, man. Just listening, fellowshipping, talking to each other, comparing facts, comparing stories, because most of the stories are the same. I'm medboarding. I don't know what to do. Let me go into my man cave and drink alcohol until I pass out. Yep. That's it. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, because, we say, we should know. No, sometimes we just don't know. So knowledge is definitely key. And listening to these videos, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, but definitely post them on your Facebook and other people's social media, because I posted in a couple of groups I'm in. It's because the knowledge is very contagious. So once you get informed and you start to look at, oh, okay, you don't have to just, believe everything Ricky says, but, just bet him. Say, okay, he said something about CRSC. Look up CRSC, and then go to your Pueblo and say, what is this thing I heard about CRSC? And I bet you they're going to say, oh yeah, CRSC is this and the third. And then you're going to look at them and like, why didn't you tell me this? Making sure you got combat related on your paperwork.
Yeah, if it applies.
Making sure that you have a diagnosis to everything, because you go to sick call and let's say you have, because I ran into that problem. I have allergies, pollen allergies, seasonal allergies, but they just gave me a Flonase and and Claritin and say, go about your day.
Yeah, go about your day. 24 hour quarters.
That's it. Go about your day.
Piece
and
of
I'm
shit.
like, hold up, man. it got aggravated while I was in the military. So what is that? That's service connected.
Yep. You definitely like in cases like that. Thank you, Diesel, for the call, man. In cases like this, man, and I'm saying this for everybody, you need to make sure that every time you go see the doctor, you know, they give you the your sick call sleep, you know. But in addition to that, they give you some kind of how you call this they make it no they make it official. They give you a diagnostic, you know, and they put it on paper, you know. A service member has these type of allergies, you know, on a form, you know, and then it goes to your records. Not just they sign your sick call slip, and then they give it back to you with some Flonase and Benadryl, because what it tells you rather you never have allergies, you know. So that's one of those things.
Right. So hold on, before we get to Jay's question.
Yeah.
This is a prime example. I was in the military. I'm currently in the military, so I went to sick call in the military. I want to say it was about 4 months ago, and you know, they said, "All right, you look like you have the flu. You know, all right, don't worry about it. You know, it should go away. Here's some medication." And I said, "This doesn't feel right, because this feels worse. You know, I feel a little bit worse right now." So I called them again. This time they were too full, so they told me to go ahead to an outside doctor. It got approved by TRICARE and everything else to go to the outside doctor. So I went to the outside doctor. They took, I think they took a swab. They took blood work. There were a lot more details. They came back and they were able to identify the type of flu I had, which was B, like flu type B. And they were able to say, well, this is very contagious, and you need to stay home for a minimum of 5 days. And so they submitted that, and of course, I gave it to my leadership, and they were like, "Oh man, somebody's gonna work for you now, man." I was like, "Do you realize what I just told you? This is contagious. So if you have me show up to work, then I'm gonna get everyone sick." And that's what they were thinking about. So the Army's mind state is putting bodies in the foxhole. That's it. They don't care how they get it there, as long as they're filling up someone else's NCVR, someone else is getting an award for it. That's their job.
That's right, yeah.
And so I was looked upon as if I was malingering. I was like, no, do you not see what the diagnosis from the civilian doctor stated, that this is type B and is very contagious? And after a while, I stopped fighting. I said, you know what? Here's the paperwork. I'm staying home for 5 days. If there's any issue, then I'm going to IG about it. So, I mean, that they will try to do that, and they will try to run the little sympathy card on you, as if, you know, hey, we need you. You're part of the team. The Army has millions of people. And believe it or not, once you get out the military, there will be a replacement, if not there already. So
that is correct, man. Hey, thank you so much, man, for that. That's true, man. So you know, going back to the first topic, is we were talking about, you know, what I'm telling you about CRSC and other things, like you know, the benefits that you can apply and get. I'm showing you right here. This is official. This is an official, you know, official number from the page of the VA. Their budget is $243.3 billion. I did not say millions. I say billions of dollars. Okay. Every year they request this amount of money, and they don't use all the money. You know why? Because people like you and I, some people like you and I, not me or Diesel, because we know that better now. They don't check on their benefits. They don't check on what they need to do in order to get compensated for what they did for the country. You know, it's very sad, man. It's very sad to see, like when I was in my first years in the military, seeing people with the Vietnam hat, and then, you know, these older guys, you know, all fucked up, driving fucked up cars, or not getting the healthcare that they were supposed to get because, oh, I cursed, my bad, because they didn't knew. about these benefits. Living in conditions under the, less than that what they deserve. Why? Because they don't know that there's a long-term care that paid by the VA. I mean, there's so many things out there, man. And then touching in the second topic that Diesel is saying. Let me tell you something, and then I don't know if a first sergeant or if a commander is gonna watch this video. Most likely yes. Most likely they're watching it right now. Okay, but this is what I'm gonna say to you guys. And Diesel's going back to the point of he's going back to the supervisor, and supervisor's telling him, hey, now somebody has to work for you. And this is how the supervisor sees it. Yeah, But then the supervisor has to turn around and talk to the first sergeant. And first sergeant is going to tell them, "Oh, somebody has to come from your, we have on staff duty on Sunday, so somebody from your group, from your team is going to cover him, And then that's when people start hating, because now you are part of a team. You are part of a team, and on top of that, you're hurting the team one way or another because you're going through this situation. That's why I'm saying that as soon as the soldier gets, recommended for the med board process, as soon as they need to put him on the warrior transition center, they need to send you to a group where you're not going to have this kind of duties and shit like that, so you can really focus on getting your therapies, on getting your training, getting your briefings, and the most important thing, that you can get what you deserve, man. Because once you leave the military, those 3 months that they're giving you, or 2 months, or 4 months they're giving you to clear, they're going to be detrimental in how successful you are or not after the military. So I see that, Jay, will I be able to claim other injuries or illnesses, for example, sleep apnea, raining ears, injuries from jumps, or never went to sick call for? So Jay, so you have to have things posted on your medical records, man. If you don't have them yet recorded as an actual injury, you need to start going to the doctor. I need to start, even though your med board is going in this side right here of the table, is going one way, you have to go on the other side of the table and start telling them, hey, this hurts, this right here, this happening 4 years ago, I jumped from a plane, this is happening, ringing in my ears. I need to get checked for this, even though your med board is going one side, you have to get checked, still going to the doctor, this is what I'm saying. Once you're deemed, that's probably the word. Once you're going to the med board process, you have to, your 100% attention has to be on what's wrong with you, how can you take care of that, what you need to do in order for this to be on your records. Because once you leave the military, once you eat PCS, or once you're ETS out, the medical facility, your medical office is going to give you a CD with everything that is on your records, and they're going to close your record. There's no going back. There's no going back. So you have to have those things recorded by the military doctor. Can you get him? Can you get something else outside of the military? Yes, but can they be combat related? It depends on who you see and which doctor is going to help you out. Depends on if you're going to be living in a city where your VA is going to be 30 minutes from you, like in my case, or it's going to be 2 to 3 hours from you. So I'll say while you're in the military, you got to take care of yourself. Don't take sick call slips. You go there with a sick call slip, you should leave out there with diagnostic by a doctor straight into your records. If the doctor doesn't do it, if you go to see a physician and the doctor don't put something on your records, you call back the nurse. Nurse, what's going on? I went over there with the flu. Doctor didn't put anything. Nurse, they do some x-rays on my spine. There's 3 things on my spine, T1, T2, whatever. Where's the diagnostic? You need to get those diagnostics, man. And the one thing I got to tell you is when you go apply for when you go to your Pueblo and you sit down with your Pueblo, and the Pueblo give you a piece of paper and tells you, here's where you're gonna list everything that you're gonna claim for it. you need to get on your social, you need to get out of your ass, out of start looking on Facebook and YouTube, car videos. And you need to start digging on what can I claim, how should I claim this, how should I write this, so you can fill your forms. Okay, it's very difficult. And then we're just trying to help you guys out with what we can.
So Jay, I ran into the same issue. Let's say been in the military for X amount of years, and I'm now complaining about this thing. Now that I know that the med process on me has started for, let's say hypothetically, my left knee. So now I'm like, all right, but I've been having sleep apnea issues. I've been having PTSD issues, but I just haven't seen the doctor about it yet. So that's why we say 6 months at least minimum, because a lot of these things go off of appointment availability and all that other stuff, right? So you want to make sure before you go to a PTC appointment, which is what the VA will do for you, that you get all these injuries, and although the doctor will say, well, why haven't you complained about it yet? I'm here right now to talk about it because maybe I was too prideful. Maybe because I had too much pressure on me by my leadership not to talk about it. But I'm talking about it now. And especially with PTSD, sometimes PTSD may happen, right after the deployment. Sometimes it may take 10 years to surface, So issues like that, the doctor can't tell you that you don't have it, especially if you're having nightmares and flashbacks, and you get pissed off easily, and a lot of things trigger you that remind you of the situation. So you want to make sure that that's what I would say, 6 months, you want to schedule your appointments and start seeing these doctors and stop lying. When I say stop lying, I'm not calling you a liar, but I'm saying stop saying it doesn't hurt when it really does hurt.
That is key, bro.
And that's where you have to get away from the situation of, that's when you sever the ties. I'm not saying that you completely be a shitbag to the Army or whatever. It's not being a shitbag taking care of yourself, but you really sit down and you say, look, if I'm going through this med board, I'm going through this med board. I have to put all in. If you put half in, then you're going to get half out. And then when you get your results back, you might get 20 from the Army, and they say, here's a severance pay. Get out of our face. And then you're like, whoa. I didn't tell the truth about me seeing somebody in my nightmares. I didn't tell you, it's too late. The VA already assessed you. There was no diagnosis. I said diagnostic. I sound like Ricky. There was no diagnosis. There's no diagnosis. And we don't have anything in your medical records. And a lot of those people in the VA, they just want to get you out their office. They were like, you know what? There's nothing in your medical records. I can't see whatever your symptom that you're complaining about today. So guess what? It's non-existent. He's just saying he has something that he doesn't have. Because they've run through cases like that people complain being in the military hypothetically for a year, and they have, they'll say, I have PTSD because, I saw a vehicle that was red.
Yeah.
So, they have to siphon through the bull. But if you've been in the military for 10 years, 3 deployments, you're SF, you've seen people blowing up, and you don't have PTSD, come on now.
I think the problem with PTSD, Diesel, is that people don't take care of of themselves, man. It's really sucks, really sucks, man. And then they just don't know, they don't know what PTSD looks like, what PTSD feels like, or what PTSD tastes like, and then they're just going through an episode of something let's call PTSD, and then at the end of the day, they're like, oh man, I have a dream, or I have maybe I was drinking too much, or maybe what the fuck is that? Ooh, fuck. They forget about it. It's like a dream, a bad dream. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, your heart is pounding, you go in, 100 meters an hour. You look to the side, it's 3 o'clock, you're just thinking about damn PT at 6 o'clock, 6:30. You go back to sleep, and then the next day you go back, and then you don't think about it. When in reality, you're going through shit like this, and then you need to take care of yourself. So you're right, man.
So while you going through the med board, Jay, just to further answer and put this question in the coffin. While you're going through the med board process, continue to get clear. Because during the med board process, you may be there just for PTSD, but then they find out you have sleep apnea. But make sure they find out you have sleep apnea, you have ringing in the ears, they find out you have bad knees.
Yep.
Once you're still in the military, all that information will get passed on to your PEBLA, right? And then that gets added into your medical files. It'll be in your medical file first, then your PEBLA has it, right? And then then they'll say, all right, well, we need a QTC now for sleep apnea or whatever. But at least you have the machine. You'll get the machine while you're in the military, the CPAP machine. Make sure you get the CPAP machine. You'll have that. You'll have a diagnosis on your knees. You'll have diagnosis on ringing ears. So when the QTC happens, they back it up with the information that's already in the military. And they just say, yeah, I concur. That's it. So make sure you get, while you're in the medical process, keep getting care. That's the key thing.
Yeah. Okay, I think we got to the end of the stream. Diesel, thank you so much. Jay, hopefully we answer your questions. Make sure we have nobody else. And anybody else watching, thank you so much. Next Sunday, 11 o'clock, same time, guys. We're going to be here, myself and Diesel. Diesel, do you think next weekend you can join us again?
I'll be here.
Let us know, man.
I'll be here.
And then hopefully I can get you on camera so you can be on the other side or something cool. Okay?
All right, cool, man.
All right, brother. Everybody have a good day and be safe. Bye.
Ciao.